Welcome to the MercGoat Conspiracy. Today we have the usual cast with us. I'm Merc.
I'm Zorn.
SLB.
Ginger.
Today we're going to have some fun. We're going to make you think. And we're going to...
Man, I got this weird itch going on. I should see a doctor. It's turning more red than it should.
I'm not a doctor. I'll take a look.
I mean, that's
taking
good.
A look.
I mean, that's sure someone you don't want to take a look at this.
I'm sure.
Look, I might need a second opinion.
I'm relatively sure it's all those orgies you went to last week.
It could be, but you ever see a burn victim? It kind of looks like that, but I never put fire near there.
So it looks like a garbage fire broke out on your nutsack?
Pretty much.
My old roommate, huh?
Yeah.
Huh.
I can't explain that.
Today we are drinking Turbo Dog from Abita Brewery. It's actually one of my favorite beers, although none of the boys here have tried it, with the exception of me. And I'm going to get everyone's opinion on it.
Love it. I'm loving it. It's smooth. It does have a little hoppy taste, but it's not like an IPA, where it's like your mouth gets raped with hoppiness. You know?
Yeah.
Hoppiness and dish soap.
So, I think Turbo Dog is actually the best one we've done so far. I mean, it's smooth, it's nice, and like SLB said, I do not have hoppy taste bum rushing me in the face.
Bum rushing you in the face with hops. Extreme beer!
Exactly!
Especially not a slogan already for a beer. Prepare to get bum rushed in the face by hops. We don't use 3 hops in our bottle. We fit as much shit as we can.
We put a whole barrel in a 6-pack because we're not right in the head.
Exactly. If you're not crunching, it's not us.
There's also a hit of cocaine.
If you ever felt like you were fucked in the mouth by hops, this ain't the beer for you.
Well, we even let Ginger try one sip, as he's not a beer drinker. While he was chewing gum, too.
It has been better than what I have put in my mouth so far. I put a lot of things in my mouth.
That's definitely what she said.
Not yet.
We should have seen him last week when we played What's in My Mouth.
I love that game. Right next to toe or finger.
So, I would like to go into our hard mode ingressing for the day. Well, week. Myself and MercGoat and a couple of others decided that we were going to go out in the freezing cold, since now there's no snow on the ground to hinder us.
Just ice.
Well, ice and, slipping and death. And thankfully, I toughed it out until I got all of the portals, but MercGoat retreated with our only female into the car.
There was no feeling in my fingers. It actually took me a few minutes to try to open the door. You were still out there for another at least 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, I was just looking around. I'm like, where the hell did he go? I needed to upgrade this portal. Bastard!
The warm was more important than the portal.
Where were you warming your hands? He said you retreated into the car with the only female.
Hey, now, what I did is not your concern.
Sure enough.
If it can be an excuse only to get warm, then it's not wrong.
Well, you just shove your hands in her massive cleavage, you're doing fine.
I wasn't thinking cleavage, but sure.
She has massive cleavage.
She does.
Massive.
Who?
You met her once.
Sure, yeah, maybe, probably. Super Bowl Sunday?
Yeah?
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Word.
Now you know.
Now you
And
know.
no one's is only half the battle.
Yep.
G.I. Joe.
Exactly.
I love those old PSAs.
Those are awesome. You can
Pork
still
chop
find them.
sandwiches!
Well, while keeping on the topic of video games, we all read an article that GameStop is buying PS2s again, and for a reasonable price. It's not the normal 10 cents they'll give you for a $30 game.
Well, they're giving you $25 in-store credit if you have everything. If you don't have any of the cores and it's just the console, they'll give you $20 in-store credit, which is not a bad deal.
Well, considering they'll buy a game for you for $1 and put a $30 price tag in on it a minute later, it's a reasonable deal.
But I just want to know, can I buy PS2s from them now?
They haven't stated what they're doing, but I can't imagine that they're just going to keep them.
I don't know why you would buy back the most popular and best-selling system of all time and not intend to sell.
Personally,
GameStop, they just shut it down for no reason.
what I think could be happening is there is a lot of cool computer parts on the inside that can be used for many, many things. You're just going to collect all that shit and just sell it somewhere.
What was that thing you were telling me where it had to be classified as like a weapon or something?
Back when it first came out, the compatibility of a PS2 could match that of a supercomputer. They could get like 20 of them lined up, all working on the same processor, and it'd be cheaper to do that than buy a supercomputer.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think the PS2 was the first video game system to have USB ports, even before it was like a big thing that people... I think we were still using floppy drives when the PS2 came out.
Oh yeah, we were.
Because I remember seeing those ports and be, I don't know, what was that, 15 years ago, and be like, what the hell is that little fucking thing?
Y'all youngins.
And spoiler alert, that kind of reminds me of Chappie when they ended up with like 40 PS4s and they hooked them together. Without using spoilers, there was a scene where they hooked about 40 of them together to achieve something.
A supercomputer, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, you could do that. That's what they do with the PS2s.
Mhm.
For one, like the leading nations, like supercomputers, it was just 20 PS2s all lined up together, running on the same system.
We should try that.
Right?
With, like, Nintendos and see what we can get.
Nothing.
You have 18 Nintendos next to each other. What have I achieved? No.
You're gonna have to get a person, specifically hire them to blow in all of the Nintendos.
What do? I blow on Nintendos all day.
You know, you weren't supposed to do that. That actually make it worse.
I know, I was just reading that the other day.
That's fine.
But we all still do it.
Yeah.
The thing is almost, 30 years old, and we all still blowing it to get it to work.
If you haven't blown on a Nintendo cartridge, you have not lived. Or you're too young, stay away from her, bro. Either or. Speaking of GameStop, they are, of course, the biggest pain in the ass when it comes to pre-orders. It's one thing that I'm kind of partially against, partially not against. I hate how GameStop, Best Buy, Target, Amazon, Walmart all have separate pre-orders for the same goddamn game. It's absolutely frustrating.
It's aggravating.
Well, now it's just separate pre-orders. It's separate content as well.
Exactly.
That's
That's
true.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You get different special things from wherever you go.
You get the pink dildo from GameStop. You get the red vibrator from Walmart. You get the green machine gun from Amazon. I'm sick of it.
You know they have
Green
Avengers
machine
vibrators?
Right? What?
They have Avenger vibrators.
Well, you know, there's also the Hulk.
I was going to say the whole...
When I worked Comic-Con, I actually had a guy go, "Hey, just keep this on the down low. Do you have Star Trek vibrators?" I'm like, "No, what makes you think I would have them? I'm selling fucking toys that are used in video game systems at Comic-Con. Do you have Star Trek vibrators? What sign do I have in the background that makes you think that I have a Star Trek vibrator
If
on
you
me?"
want to take this Megazord and shove it up your ass, yeah, it does vibrate.
Hey, anything's a build if you're brave enough.
I remember when Infamous was like the first game for PS3 to have a pre-order. It came with some special weapon. And I remember it selling for just that one weapon, that DLC code, for $100 on eBay.
But you know what? As we know, when it comes to marketing, you put it out there, people will buy it.
Exactly.
Well, it's like Watch Dogs. When that first came out, all the different pre-orders, like if you get the Best Buy pre-order, you get this exclusive, like, you know, unlimited credit card hacking. If you go to Walmart, you can get this bullcrap.
The nice thing about Watch Dogs and other Ubisoft games is they usually release a DLC pack about 2 months after the game comes out that has all of the pre-order bonuses.
Yeah.
So if you wait 2 months, you can get them all. There's
Oh,
other
yeah.
games like, I remember, even though I do think it was an Ubisoft game, Driver, I think San Francisco, wasn't a very popular game, but I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. And all the pre-orders never got released, so there was missions that you never got. And that's kind of a pain in the ass, because you're basically not getting a full game because of
They're
retail
breaking it
schemes.
apart.
Yeah.
And then they're giving it to you later on the road. It's almost like back in the day, except this was more for promotional purposes, where there was shareware.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know, you get shareware, and it'd be like Wolfenstein. You get maybe the first episode, which is like, what, 10 levels?
Yep.
I remember every secret passage in the original Wolfenstein.
Yeah,
It's
but then-
fucked up,
but
because I
there
played
was-
it so much.
But you had shareware, and then you'd buy it, and you get the full game. That was a demo to try it out. This isn't demoing. They're making you pay $60 for a broken down game. It's almost like freemium kind of games. You
Yeah.
download a game on a phone,
Yep.
and you can play it. Like, there's an example, Trivia Crack, for example. When you play Trivia Crack, and this is the biggest downfall of this game, you get 3 hearts, and the hearts regenerate every hour.
Okay.
1 heart per hour.
One heart per an hour. And you can only start, you can only start a game with a heart. And if you're out of hearts, you can't do it anymore. You either have to buy them, or sometimes they have promotions where you can permanently upgrade your hearts to 5. So you can just play, you have
And it's
5
not
games.
cheap. It's like $20, $30.
Yeah, and I've thought about it just because I was playing so much, but now I'm like, I'm barely playing.
Right.
I'm sure they have a business model, but you have to think about it. That really is fucky, though. Because, yeah, there'll be people that buy it, and they'll probably figure it out they're going to make more if they charge that outrageous price. But wouldn't they rather make about the same amount and everyone buy that for cheaper? They might even make more. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they have a business model, and they probably have more business sense than I do. But
No, I think they're, and I hate to sound negative and pessimistic, but I think they're literally playing off of people's stupidity, because in marketing, they teach you to make, create a want into a need. So
Yep.
they're kind of like doing that with games. Yeah, you can play games, but to really get the experience, you got to blow money
Yeah.
necessary amounts.
Now, have you guys ever played any of the new Call of Duty Advanced Warfare?
No.
No? Okay, we played any of the Call of Duties before that, like Black Ops, Black Ops
Yes.
2.
Sure. Yeah.
So, you know Zombies comes with it, right?
Yeah.
Not Advanced Warfare. That's the first DLC is the Zombies.
Really?
That's how bad it's like, really? You're going to make what was a given in every other game your first DLC?
Well, speaking of DLC in general, there's some companies that get it right, some companies that don't. Call of Duty is the first one. For multiplayer map packs, they'll charge $15-20 for just online maps, nothing to it. But look at games like Borderlands, where they charge $10 for a full expansion, and it's all fresh. It wasn't held back from the original release. It's something they worked on.
It's an update.
Over time. It's an update. They actually improved the game. Borderlands are games that do the DLC right. Resident Evil 5, they cut parts of the game and released it, even though it was on the disc when it was shipped. So when you do buy the DLC, it's that little 100 KB file, and it just unlocks it on the disc. You're paying for stuff that you already have. And that's the wrong way to do
That
DLC.
is some bullshit right
Yeah, and they did that on release. They shipped the disc with some type of the only multiplayer, I believe, for Resident Evil 5. It was on the disc, and you had to pay $5, $10, $15 to unlock it. 100 KB file, done, download it, because it was never not included. Much like pre-orders, already on the disc. If you buy it at GameStop, the Best Buy pre-order is already on your disc. They just locked it from you because retail bullshit. And like I said, Call of Duty is the worst.
Well, South Park, this is a good example.
They had the one pre-order, and if you bought it new, you got the second pack. One pre-order is okay. If you want to have the same pre-order for every goddamn store, from GameStop to Phil's Tackle Shop, that's fine.
But they also didn't have DLC. You know, they also made sure they were packaged in the whole game.
It wasn't per se DLC, but it was DLC in the fact you had to unlock it.
Yeah, they wanted to give everything basically at once.
No, they're very.
They did it proper.
And there's certain games like Army of Two, which is EA, the 40th Day. They literally cut 2 levels and released it as the only DLC for that game. And they were prequels to the end of the game, but they mixed them in the story. The way they did it was fucky to begin with. And
Well, it's EA. They'll do anything for money.
yeah, Bulletstorm was another one. They pulled back a few levels. As much as it wasn't successful, I love Bulletstorm. And I still bought the DLC because I wanted to see those maps, even though they held it back to me. So you do get that need if you really like the game. And you will pay for it. So it's absolutely a trap sometimes. Oh yeah, one other thing. Fruit Ninja. I paid $2 for a blade. That's not so bad. $2 is, 2 cheeseburgers at McDonald's. I don't mind doing that once in a while. If you release one blade a month, I'll spend $2 on your freemium game because I haven't spent crap on it. But if you want $10 for a blade, you can go fuck yourself.
Is that like the Hearts where it's just one? Is that just one blade you can use, or is that something that it's like an upgrade and you get to use
the new
it?
Fruit Ninja, they actually remapped it so every blade has an ability. For this one, every watermelon is 10 points. I've already gotten higher scores in 2 of the 3 modes because of this blade. So not only was it reasonably cheap, it's pretty OP. So it's definitely worth it. I mean, $2 is not a huge deal.
Yeah.
I would never pay 10 for it though, and I wouldn't even remotely think about it for $10.
No, I think South Park would literally put that whole freemium idea, best in that episode.
Oh, that was an excellent episode.
With Beelzebub.
So today we're going to start a new segment. Pat has not responded in the way we have liked. So today we're going to start a new segment. It's called Ginger's Metal Moment. He's going to explain why something that you think is ordinary and happy is metal.
Today, I would like to talk about butterflies. Now, you think you see a butterfly, it's like, oh, that's gay. That's a trans stamp. That's that one girl I know who has them on like 5 different places on her body. True story. But butterflies are metal. And I'll explain to you. Because if a butterfly or a group of butterflies see, say, a dead animal, fish, something like that, that washed up ashore, they will fly over to it and drain it of its blood for nutrients. They will suck the blood out of a dead animal for nutrients. Now, if that's not a metal thing to do, then I don't know what is.
So next week we will have another metal moment. Also, you mentioned something about meth labs in Walmart. I thought we should just get out there.
Since 2011, there have been at least 4 incidents where people were cooking meth inside of a Walmart.
How do you miss that? First,
Inside of a Walmart. They gotta be they set their own little base behind the paper towels, make their own little tree fort in there.
but how do you not smell that or
I
just?
know it has a
gonna
pretty bad
say,
smell.
Well, it's a Walmart.
Well, it depends. I
Well,
mean,
did they hide it in the bathroom or
well,
something?
no, it depends. If it's
No, the bathroom's actually pretty tight security.
the North Kingstown Coventry one, you might smell it because it's kind of
North
cleaner.
Kingstown, yes, because it's only open till 10 o'clock. Walmart, the Coventry, I don't think so because it's 24 hours.
But Baltimore, it smells like that all the time.
So
you
we live in a
We've
meth
been
city.
to Baltimore Walmart, we know. And my father decides that he didn't want to lock the car.
He thought it was a good time to sell the
With
car.
all our laptops in it. I'm not locking the fucking car.
Because Walmart also has a car dealership there, where it's just you break and buy.
Oh, I love those ones.
Oh, go back to the butterflies. You ever think that butterflies get tattoos of white girls on them?
I like to think they do. Yeah, normally fat white women. That's what it is. Like someone over 400 pounds, like right on the left bottom wing.
Oh, God.
Just above, the private area, just kind of there, so it's like a little sexy thing. Kind of like how Asian people get tattoos of words written in English.
I like that one.
That's a real thing, too.
Peanut butter.
This means love and water.
Well, keeping the focus of music, today is very musically focused. I got a question I'm going to ask all of you, and you have to answer it truthfully. You have a gun to your head. On your left is metal icon Rob Halford of Judas Priest, one of my favorite bands. On the other side, Rosie O'Donnell eating KFC without hands.
Okay. And what do we praise?
If you don't sleep with one of them, I will pull the trigger and kill you.
Rob Halford. Because he's my turbo lover.
Because he is your turbo lover.
Tell me there is no other.
He did write a lot of songs about blowjobs, and no one had any idea they were about blowjobs.
He's hell-bent for leather, I'll tell you that much.
Fair enough. I'm going to have to go with Rosie O'Donnell.
Wow. Does it go back to the whole crazy woman kind of thing?
It kind of does.
Well, what if she's going down and it's almost like she misses the fact that she's done with her KFC? Like, you're screwed.
Well, I was always been told that I'm going to die by a woman. At least it's going to be, hopefully, by my friend Rob, who's going to shoot me with the gun. As soon as it's bit off. Like, really.
So he's just hoping that I kill you.
I see like a Walking Dead moment here where Zorn's on the ground and Rosie O'Donnell's like just going at it and he's screaming, "Merc, do it! Do it!" And Merc's sitting there shaking like in fear, like to shoot or not. And then
just do it! I'll still love you, man. Just do it! By all that's right and holy.
Oh, God. This is hard. I mean, I'm not gay.
But $20 is $20.
I could always use $20, but that's not the case right now.
No, you got a gun to your head.
I mean, I got metal icon or fat lesbian that's like closer to a man than Rob Halford is. You know those machines that you get like you hang upside down from that look like a stretcher that just kind of stands up. Rosie O'Donnell used to have to get all the Dorito crumbs off her tits. But I digress. I'll probably go Rob Halford.
Alright, so we have 2 for Halford and 1 for Rosie.
And what about you, Merc?
Oh, definitely Halford. I ain't touching that gigantic submarine. I'm as straight as they come, but I would not touch that with a 50-foot pole.
I mean, if she was my other option, I'll be the most passionate lover Rob Halford ever had.
Alright, since you both said Halford, Zorn.
Yes.
If you had Halford or Honey Boo Boo's mother, would it change your opinion?
It would, actually. It definitely would. I'd have to go switch to the poll just for that.
I would just like to keep in mind, for all you single listeners out there, she has a boyfriend and you're still single. Just throwing that.
She also has money.
Well,
That's a major part.
she actually got cut off now, and that's a good thing.
she got skitty and butter.
Well,
Skitty and butter.
I got a pig heart.
I gotta go raise the bar.
only cameraman.
Where are they from, anyway?
Somewhere south.
Well, I figured that much.
Somewhere where God doesn't really pay attention.
They're definitely not in the Bible Belt, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, God, no. Her ex-boyfriend's a pedophile.
Yeah, well, no.
That surprises you.
No.
Okay.
Okay, I'm curious.
That's why they got cut off the TLC.
Before we move forward, I'm curious where they're actually from.
Alright.
They're from McIntyre, Georgia.
Okay. So they probably listen to a lot of country music.
Probably a lot of the bad kind of country music.
Like modern country music, which is basically pop music.
Everything from like 2005 forward.
Probably before that. I'd say 2000 forward.
No, I mean 2000 wasn't bad. I mean 2000, 2001, 2002.
It started going down.
That's where it started going full retard.
If they're from Georgia, there's probably a lot of country music that they listen to.
A lot of bad country music.
Well, country music in general is terrible, but that's just me.
I like older country.
Yeah, older. Some Toby Keith.
1998
some
and
McGraw.
before, personally.
I like Willie Nelson. I know a lot of people don't. I enjoy Willie.
I like Willie.
I'm with you.
I like Willie, Cash. I do like Garth Brooks. I grew up on him. I just don't like the new stuff because it's mostly pop. And it's getting more
Poppy.
vanillized and unoriginal. How many songs mention drinking a beer by the river with a truck? Like 2/3 of them. Like, and that's not even an exaggeration.
They create the stereotypical image of a hick at that point.
But look at like Rhode Island. Now you have all these people listening to country music that didn't 10 years ago because they just go with whatever's popular. Back when I listened to country when I was younger, it wasn't cool. I wasn't trying to be cool. And now it is. It's just like, what the fuck?
I used to get shit for listening to it when I was younger.
Absolutely. I used to love Garth Brooks. I mean, I still like him.
I mean, you just saw him
I just saw him, in Boston, I think in January.
Pretty cool.
Lucky son of a
He
bitch.
put on a great show. He is a great performer. And he's a genuine guy. I think my father said this. If he saw you broken down on the side of the road, he'd stop and help you. A lot of these guys, they'd fucking purposely hit a puddle on the way by. And
Taylor Swift?
Oh, Taylor Swift would hit you. She got so much money, she'd make you disappear.
First off, I know it says many times before, Taylor Swift's country is a Prius, okay? There's no point putting
She's
that
actually,
category.
she's getting away from country intentionally. She wants to be pop now. I mean, she always was.
Oh, I thought you were going to say she's going black metal.
Hey, if that becomes a popular trend, she'll be another Papa Roach. She'll go with it. How many times has Papa Roach changed her genre?
I know, I don't listen to Papa Roach.
Yeah, but you hear the one song on the radio.
Yeah.
If you hear just the one song on the radio, how many times have they changed their genre?
For that one song, I don't know. I've only heard one version of Papa Roach.
Apparently, you don't listen to the radio as much as I do. Not that I listen to it a lot either.
Never. I actually found a channel, a little off key, but I did find a channel on the radio that's just been playing old school classic rock from like the 70s.
Awesome.
60s and 70s.
B101?
No, it's like 101.9. It's
B101 is 80s.
It's close to
70s.
Cool 102, but they play all classic rock. And I'll be sitting there and I'm like, okay, I have a factory radio in my car. And the factory radio, you know, my CDs just seem to skip. You can put something that's brand spanking new, basically made the CD out of nothing with your hands, like you're Captain Atom, you created a CD, you put it in there, and it still skips. I'm coming home from work, I put the radio on, and they'll play. I don't hear a lot of commercials on this channel. It blows my mind. They probably won't be on for long, though. But anyways, country music.
So this week I had everyone find a country song with worse than average lyrics, and we're going to share a line or two from them and explain the song. We're going to start with Zorn, because he has a funny story to go with his.
Well, you know, I've heard some country music in my time, but specifically I like Billy's got his beer goggles on for really bad lyrics, especially for, you know, he don't smoke, but he lights one up. Well, why in the world are you going to sit there and be like, oh, I'm just going to light one up right now, even though I don't really want to? And I think it's going to be beautiful. But personally, tequila makes your clothes fall off. I know a girl. And we were talking just a little while ago, and she was telling me about her tequila stories, so she can take everything but tequila, as she put it, well, while we were drinking. And we didn't have any tequila, so it was all good. Well, or all bad, depending on the day. But she was telling me how one tequila, you know, some of it just kind of gets looser, two tequila, some of it just kind of to go away. You know, it's a nice gradual type thing. If you get to 4, you're probably going to have naked dancing on a table, so it's fun.
See, I just get that way in general when I drink.
I was going to say, we've been there, done that.
Oh, I know. I've chased a guy outside of a house before because I was just in my boxers.
You walked an inflatable dog down the road for 10 minutes.
It needed to go out for a walk. That dog has been chained to the stairs for days. Obviously, the girl who bought it wasn't taking good care of it, so I had to.
Well, that was just mighty Samaritan.
It was.
It's because you're a fucking mook.
Did you at least bring it back?
Took me a while, but yeah. I ran down the street in, like, you know, I think pants and socks. I didn't even bother putting shorts on.
Yeah.
I think it was like, it might have been raining out. I don't remember. And the girl was just like, my dog's like, I'm taking it for a walk. Don't worry.
It wasn't raining out. You just spilled half of the beer pong cups and had water all over you.
Okay.
You fell to the floor laughing your ass off because you were ricocheting them.
No, I was power shotting them, each one, into the beer. And then when it was your turn to throw, you knocked them all over, and I fell, laughing. And the beer fell out of my mouth when I fell down.
Well, SLB, what do you have for a...
I have from 1976, because, you know, there's nothing like good old country. But this one's from Bobby Bear. And the name of the song is Drop Kick Me Jesus. Like, I don't know what kind of spiritual message you're trying to send out.
You're supposed to be drop kicked by Jesus.
I mean,
You wouldn't?
drop kick me Jesus through the goalposts of life free from the earthly tempest and below. This guy's just like, I think that I see Dropkick in this song at least 50 times.
Jesus, give him that extra boost.
Is that what the born again Christians are doing? They just is that the new ritual? They have a pastor drop kick him in the face.
Hallelujah!
Is that their
If that's the case, I'll go get a Halloween costume as a pastor and start drop kicking these guys. I have no problem with that.
We should go into a pool or a puddle or something. I don't know.
Well, sulfuric acid.
Well, that'll burn off the sin.
We'll start off with the Westboro Baptist Church.
Yep.
All right.
Line them up.
Ginger.
Mine comes from Justin Moore, circa 2011. Bait a hook. I heard he's got a Prius because he's into being green. My buddy said he saw y'all eating that sushi stuff. Baby, that don't sound like you. That don't sound like love. That sounds like it sucks. Now, first off, there's no rhyming there. That was 3 lines of no rhyming.
That sounds like a bad hip hop song.
It
sounds like hip hop.
I'm with SLB here. It does sound kind of like hip hop.
I mean, I get you don't like a Prius because you're country, but I don't see why you dissing sushi.
I love sushi.
Sushi's delicious. I mean, I don't really like a Prius. I can understand the hate for it. I mean, I don't say I hate Prius, but I can understand why you don't like it because you grew up with a truck that gets 12 miles to the gallon. And God forbid you get something that can run for one state to another.
I don't like change.
Well, I think part of the problem is because the Prius is a Toyota and they can't spell that. That's why they all drive Fords. Ford. Ford. Ford.
Do you know what Ford stands for?
Found on road dead.
Failed on race day.
I kind of like Fiat's Fix It Again, Tony.
There's so many of those. There's a lot we can't even say on the
We might have to make that. We might have to make that a
That's, you know what? Next week, we're going to do that. We're going to find our favorite, anagram?
anagram.
Favorite car anagram for next week.
Maybe we'll just read off.
And do not do the Pontiac one. We don't want to get yelled at.
That's a Pontiac one?
Yeah, it's really bad. We're not going to say that.
Well, there's an N in there. You just tell me.
So, this is actually how this all started. I was driving down to Florida, and my dad was listening to country. And every time between the breaks in the songs, because I was using my headphones, I heard a couple lyrics. One of the breaks, I heard this. Pick up the Sunday Times, grab a coffee cup. Looks like Sally and Rob finally tied the knot. Well, it's about time. It's 35 cents off ground round. Baby, cut that coupon out. Who the fuck sings about cutting coupons out?
My grandmother.
I understand he's singing, how much he enjoys Sunday and all that, but, you could just write a song about your day and it would be as successful as this.
The song from the Lego Movie had better lyrics than that, and all it was everything is awesome.
And this
No,
song,
it isn't, okay? I love that song.
No.
I feel more awesome than Awesome Possum. Dip my body in chocolate frosting. 3 years later, I wash off the frosting, smell like a blossom, everything is awesome. You tell me, that has more lyrics right there, in that one verse, than what he just said.
That's what I'm saying, though. That song is better than that.
But you were saying it's
I'm
only
gonna
that
have to
one
agree.
line.
But anyway, singing about coupons is just absolutely stupid. But Craig Morgan managed to get a pretty solid hit out of this. People actually bought the CD because of this song, singing about coupons and how he likes Sunday. No shit you like Sunday. You don't work, usually.
Well, how
That's
many...
like saying, I like popsicles. I'm going to sing a song about how I like popsicles. Popsicles melt in my mouth. It's pretty much the same thing.
Well, how many songs out there is it somebody repeating the same...
Smack my bitch up. How many times do you say that in that song?
I love that song.
A lot of people do.
Yeah, it's a great song.
I'm with Ginger. I do like it.
I'm not saying it's a bad song, but it's not lyrically deep.
No, it's not. I just had a discussion with this with my mother last night, because my mother was trying to say something about metal music, and she don't listen to popular music, but she's telling me I should listen to better stuff, because the lyrics don't have a positive meaning. And that goes back to actually the discussion we had a week or two ago. We were talking about how metal lyrics are generally uplifting and positive. Just because somebody doesn't like it, doesn't mean it's bad. It's not bad, but going back to the popular music, what me and my brother were trying to say is what's on the radio. There's no talent. Even the writing. You have 30 producers sitting there for Beyonce, and they can only come up with, let's talk about her riding her surfboard.
Look at fucking... Did you ever see that meme? It was like a comparison of a Led Zeppelin song. It was very deep. And then it was that Nicki Minaj song, Stupid Hoe. That girl's a stupid hoe. And it had the comparison was horrifying.
Or it was another one, a Beyonce song about women rule the world or something like that. And it was compared to probably... Freddie Mercury, probably one of the greatest songs. I think it's overplayed, but still, that song was written, and it's still just mind-blowing, because even the band thought Freddie was crazy when he wrote Bohemian Rhapsody. People I know who don't like Queen, But that song's ingenious. That song, especially when they get to the multiple vocal harmonies, they don't have great voices when they sing alone. But together, when they put their voices together, it's just mind-blowing. I can't even
I like
it.
Queen, but like or dislike Queen, almost everybody knows that song. Even today.
Yeah.
Well, moving on and continuing with this shitload of music subjects today, that comes to our next celebrity death match. Today, it's a fight for sight. We have Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder.
So... Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So it's not just me. I might have a choice this time.
SLB, do you still want to go last?
I'll go last, yeah. I just want to see what everyone else
You still want to go last? We're going to start with Ginger, because he looks like he has something to say.
I actually don't have anything to say. That's the problem.
Are you
Stevie Wonder versus Ray Charles. Two blind black men on a piano.
You said always bet on black, and there you go.
Yeah.
Now... the way I have to imagine this is they're on pianos, but they're hooked up to machine guns. And every note they play fires off a bullet at a certain accuracy where it's pointing to, depending on the note. So by playing a song, they have to kill their opponent. So whoever plays the better song kills the other guy. So down to piano players, I'm going to have to say Ray Charles will win it.
Why Ray, though?
Because he's a better pianist.
Okay. I'm just curious.
Well, it's kind of interesting, because I thought of a similar type of concept. You see, have you ever seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Oh,
Yes.
With Daffy and Donald. You see, I see Ray and Stevie sitting at those same pianos, right? And whoever gets booed off the first, they're going to explode in a fiery ball of nasty. Personally, I have to go with Ray myself as well. I just see it being an epic battle, and there has to be at least one funny punching glove gun in this specific battle to fuck up the other guy. But, you know, I'm going to go with Ray.
How many of you seen the Blues Brothers?
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you may remember the epic scene where Ray Charles is using a handgun, and as the kid tries to steal the guitar off the wall,
Exactly.
he blasts 3 shots at him.
So he's like Daredevil at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ray Charles is basically Daredevil. But to give Stevie Wonder a chance, we're going to put him on a buttload of fucking drugs. We're going to give him a shitload of bath salts. And we're going to... And basically what's going to happen is Stevie Wonder probably has excellent hearing, so he knows exactly where Ray Charles is. And Ray Charles being
They
a
both would
ninja...
have it.
Well, yeah, but Ray Charles is a ninja. We already know that because he's able to accurately fire a handgun, as we know from the Blues Brothers. So the question is, can Ray Charles gun down Stevie Wonder in time as he runs at him through sound on a shitload of drugs like a retard with retard strength?
I don't know. I think Ray would be able to gun Stevie down faster than Biggie was back in '95.
I agree. I think Ray Charles, I think he's going to get really close. I think he's just, right as he's about to tackle him, I think he's going to fire one shot, take him down, he's just going to collapse on him. He's going to be injured, but he's going to be in our next battle. How about you, SLB, even though Ray Charles has already won through...
Well, I'm going to say, even though Stevie has more life in him, I'm going to go basically with what Merc said. You know, he's like Daredevil, and especially the Blues Brothers, he's proven that he can, you know, he knows how to, listen and kill. You know, he's a killing machine.
When the sight goes, all the other senses get strong.
You know, I almost see him like, you know, what was it, Gran Torino? Kind of like that, like a black Clint Eastwood, kind of.
Singing when he's tied up in a basement.
Pretty much, yeah. You know, just hit the road, Jack. See you later, Stevie, and it's Ray. Ray for me.
Alright, so a unanimous one.
That's a first.
Ray Charles is going to be in our top 16 in a couple months.
Now, have you guys ever seen the Robot Chicken episode where they did Double Dare with Stevie Wonder and Daredevil against Helen Keller and that actress, Molly, the one on the West Wing. Yeah, the deaf woman, whatever.
What?
Right.
She was on the Celebrity Apprentice and everything, too.
Uh,
Molly Matlin.
Okay.
And, like, it's like, oh, here's the sight one. Now here's the hearing one. Now here's, like, describe this picture for us.
I will say this, I think with the way the bracket falls, I think that Ray Charles is going to be bracketed with Stephen Hawking in the next fight.
That's going to be good.
We should randomize it just so they're not, like,
I don't know.
take the winners and then random it.
So far the only two with disabilities, I think that's the most fair way to do
Nope.
it. Nope.
Connie needs to choke out Stephen Hawking.
Would you like to see?
Round 2, the most one-sided battles we could think of.
Exactly.
Fight. Also in the news, The Crow's getting a reboot. one of my favorite movies. I believe the original was in 1994. They also made 2 or 3 sequels, all which were fucking terrible.
Oh yeah,
I didn't see him, so
agreed.
I'm assuming I should
think the
see
fourth
I've
it.
seen the
one-
second one, and it was just crap.
I think Tara Reid was in the 4th one. I think the highlight was she dying because I fucking hate Tara Reid with a
So it was
passion.
like what? So you see in the highlight, it was like going to a race and seeing Danica Patrick crashing the wall.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Jack, I don't know what's his name. I think it's Huston. He plays in Boardwalk Empire. Basically, a dude that got half his face blown off with a grenade. Great actor. If you like Boardwalk Empire, I highly recommend seeing this, as well as anyone that's a Crow fan. Supposedly, they're basing it off the comic instead of just rebooting the original movie.
How close was the Brandon Lee movie to the comic?
I honestly don't know. I haven't read it. This is just what I read.
So we
online.
should all go.
We should
buy
look
it
at the
and
comic,
read it. Yeah.
Well, some of you may know Brandon Lee actually died getting shot during the filming
Yep.
of the movie.
Yep.
Just like his father in, I forget what movie his father got killed in.
Yeah, his family bloodline was cursed, according.
And in a similar manner, too, by what they thought was a blank.
I just
Yeah.
imagine what the series could have been if he didn't die and they stayed with him for 2, possibly.
Who knows? It could have been, it could have been good or it could have been even worse. Anything.
That's true. You never know. There's a lot of movies getting
Reboot?
I think someone wanted to say something.
Personally, I think that it would have been so much better if he did, stick around for all of them.
So you're saying the sequels would have been, they might not have been as good as the first, but they would have at least had more.
Yeah, they wouldn't have sucked.
Because I was reading actually that while we're on the topic, I was reading that was supposed to originally be a direct to video movie before it was released in the theaters.
Another thing about The Crow, it had a great soundtrack.
Oh, phenomenal!
It had an exclusive song from Helmet. It had a bunch of fucking
Helmet, The
songs.
Cure, I guess had the big song on that. It was a lot of that was when industrial was getting big, whether it be dance, electronic, metal.
I have it upstairs. I just don't remember everything else. I just remember Helmet because they're one of my favorite bands, and that's like the only place you can get that song. There's a lot of sequels coming up too. Super Troopers 2 is finally official.
They actually were just on what's it called today? Reddit. They did a Reddit.
Oh, an AMA?
An AMA,
Yeah.
and they announced they will be doing an Indiegogo fund. That's how they'll be funding it.
That's awesome.
I don't know how many days they're running it for. I forgot what the totals were, what they're looking for. When I last looked a couple hours ago, they had $26,000 up already.
That's amazing.
So let's kind of look at what they're at already, because we already know that those guys.
What are some of the perks?
One of the top perks is they can come and be the best men at your wedding, or you can be a producer. You can be on set. You'll get a copy of the script. They have some nasty perks. Oh, the highest one, the patrol car they end up using, if you donate $10,000 or something like that, you get to keep. The patrol car that they use in the movie, if you donate $10,000, on top of all the other perks, is that.
That's amazing.
But I think they have the $10, $30. I think the $30 you get a direct download when the movie does come out.
I wish I made $100,000 a year because I would so do that in a heartbeat.
Because I'm kind of curious, because we did this, our first episode, we were talking about Exploding Kittens, and we were just surprised how quickly...
Oh, speaking of Explode Kittens, they finally released 2 of the Not Safe for Work cards in an email today.
And?
One of them is penguin diarrhea. And the other one is a cat cutting out like someone's heart. I don't remember exactly what it was called, but it was pretty brutal. It was
Nice.
like a cat over a dead body just... So, I'm pretty excited for the Not Safe for Work deck. I'm definitely
It's going to be
glad I went to
expensive
that
now
tier.
because I missed the crowdfund. I'm thinking.
There's also, they're doing, if you make a video for YouTube, they're going to give 30 people a playtest deck. It's something that...
Like a video, like how?
You make a video, you put it on Twitter, Instagram, or whatever, and you hashtag it, and everyone watches them, and the 30 most voted ones get a playtest deck.
Nice.
So we should definitely look into that.
So that's something that, as the MercGoat conspiracy, should definitely look into, and if you're listening, if we have made the video, make sure you give it a like.
Okay, so as I said, a few hours ago when I first looked, it was at $26,000. They're looking for $2 million in the next 31 days. Now they have 3,500 funders, and they're at $338,000.
Wow.
This movie, they want $2 million, and we're already almost a quarter way there. These guys, what they're going to do with this movie, they'll probably double that.
I think they will fund it.
They'll probably get I can see them getting 10. I'll predict 10 million, for this movie. Because so many people love that movie, and of course, people like...
How many people have you heard the snozberries taste like
snozberries.
Everyone knows that.
Or even
quote.
Beer Fest. Beer Fest is probably their second most famous that a lot of people love.
You boys like Mexico!
I love Club Dread.
That's the one I haven't seen.
I like
Club
that.
Dread is great.
I have it upstairs. You
I
can
saw-
watch it.
Nobody suspects the fun police. I always suspected the fun police.
I mean, I did see the Slam and Salmon, which I thought was kind of amusing. One of my best friends.
I love Will Arnett in that one.
Will Arnett is in that. He's the guy who...
He's the guy who sits through the whole movie just reading his book in that one booth, gives the lady $100 or $1,000 tip, walks out, gets hit by a car, and that's his whole.
Yeah, Robin from How I Met Your Mother's in there. Guy with the darker skin in that movie. What the hell's his name? The actor.
Oh, the guy who just died, Mark Clark Duncan.
No, not him. Not the owner of the restaurant.
Oh.
The guy who was in... He was in Beer Fest. He was the guy who was like the prostitute almost kind of at the beginning of the movie. Where they go to pick him up for something to get ready for Beer Fest. He plays this crazy guy who he gets off his pills. And it just... hysterical. Yeah, we'll be back in it. I know
we're definitely going to talk about it again.
Yeah.
Other movies that are coming up with sequels? You said Mallrats?
Mallrats.
That's
Okay.
gonna be awesome.
So as we all know, we're all huge Kevin Smith fans.
Yep.
21 years ago, Clerks came out. It's probably in my top 5 for greatest comedies of all time. Mallrats, that's just a classic. Jason Lee and who's the other guy in there? It was the brother of the guy who played the lead character, Floyd in Dazed and Confused.
I know you're talking about. I don't know his name.
Yeah. Jane Silent Bob, Kevin Smith's films.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he's in the middle of collecting the cast from the movie. He's not doing anything different, it seems. He's getting the original cast. Today he just announced he did get Jason Lee signed on. So he has 6 more people to get for this movie. I haven't seen, obviously, it's Jane Silent Bob.
Yeah.
They have the guy who played the father, the guy with the bald head. I forgot who else, but I'm excited. Like, on top of Clerks 3 coming out next year, and now Mallrats 2, it makes me wonder if he's going to do this with all of his movies. He might. We don't know. He might go with Chasing Amy 2. He might do Dogma 2 or Jane and Silent Bob.
I'd love to see a Dogma 2. I'd love to see a Chasing Amy 2.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about Dogma 2.
Huh?
Well, I'm just saying,
I think they would be good, though. I don't think he would go half-assed on. I mean, he even wrote... What was that horror movie he did? I actually
Red State?
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I would have to say, though, I love Clerks, I love Mallrats, I love Dogma, I love Jane and Silent Bob. I think Chasing Amy might be his most solid film.
I like Chasing Amy myself. I also like Jersey Girl.
Jersey Girl's good. You can't even call that chick flick.
Nope.
Nope, it's a great movie.
Another one, Zombieland 2, I hear, is in the works.
Yeah,
I heard that a while ago.
I don't know a lot about it. I hope it happens, and I can't say I've done the proper research to know about it, but I do hope it happens. I love the first one.
Well, as we know, we're in like this reboot/sequel era. No, not really a lot of original ideas, but there are some good movies coming out. There's the new Star Wars coming out, which I'm excited for. The new Avengers movie.
I don't mind staring at Emma Stone for half an hour.
Dude, I think I can't even. Let's not even start about her. We just had a discussion about her at my house.
Although I won't see that chick flick that she's going to be in that we saw the preview for. I don't want to see that.
Her and Bradley Cooper?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that'd be gay if you and me went. Kind of gay. A little bit.
Unless you want to cut out the scenes where it's just her and...
Wait, Emma Stone's
not
going to be in the new
talking.
Star Wars?
No.
No, she's going to be in some chick flick that looks horrible.
Oh, the new Bond. There's Spectre coming out with Christoph Waltz as the bad guy, the villain, which will be...
Really? I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, he's the villain.
Oh, wow.
And Christoph Waltz is...
He just got his Hollywood star.
Oh, cool.
He deserves it.
Yeah, he's an absolutely great actor. Django, absolutely great performance.
Inglourious Basterds.
Inglourious Basterds, just as good. Speaking of 007, me and SLB have a thing where we think Dalton is the best Bond of all time. We love Connery. We love Craig. We think Brosnan's pretty good. I'm not a big Roger Moore fan, personally.
I would have to say probably, and you and me will probably agree, I would say probably goes Timothy, in no particular order besides Timothy Dalton. Timothy Dalton, Sean Connery, and Daniel Craig, I would say.
I agree.
Easily. I don't know what you guys think.
Personally, I'm a Connery fan, so...
Yeah. Well, no, that's
the perfectly accepted norm, and no one's ever going to question that.
That's true.
I'd probably go Connery as well.
Yeah. And I like hearing that. No, I've never heard anyone go, I think, Moore is my favorite.
I mean, I used to when I was little, because I was one of the first ones I saw. I saw the Moore ones.
I never liked A View to Kill. That will always be my second least favorite Bond movie. He was just getting so old. That was the one with Mayday.
Yeah, that was the first one I saw.
Yeah, it was so bad. He was just getting old in that one. But the worst of all time, and probably the one movie that I would love to see remade over any other, and I'm pretty sure SLB agrees with me, is On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Yeah, probably the best Bond story, because I don't know if you guys know anything about that one. He actually gets married in that movie.
Yep.
He's actually, in Casino Royale, he's with that woman, and she ends up, whatever, spoiler, dies at the end, if you haven't seen it already. In, like, the 10 years
and
it's
they
been
do
out.
pay homage to it in the Moore ones, because Moore leaves flowers on her grave.
Yes, I forgot which one it was. But it's a great story. I actually bought, when I was younger, BJ's, they sold all the books in this box that I have it. Haven't read that one, though. The movie, however, the one that came out in 1969 with George Lazenby, which is probably the worst Bond.
I don't think anyone would disagree with you.
No. That's like saying Honey Boo Boo's mom's
Because
attractive.
Moore was decent in Live and Let Die. He had one or two where he was pretty.
Live and Let Die, Man with the Golden Gun.
He was pretty good in that one too. Yeah.
Moonraker's okay.
I'm not a big Moonraker.
They got kind of more like they became B films towards the end of Moore's run. But this one, it's not just the acting; it's also the editing. I'm going to start at the beginning of this movie. I'm going to paint this picture for you guys who haven't seen this. So it starts off.
So you don't have to see it.
Yeah. Actually, for a friend of mine, he actually made the whole opening scene with paint, shot for shot.
Wow.
So I'm gonna paint the picture. So Bond is driving in his car, and he pulls over because I forgot if he sees the girl who girl screaming. I forgot how that happens. But then a whole bunch of agents or something come out and start attacking him. So he starts fighting. I mean, like, okay, this is just a fight.
It was a cheesy fight, though.
But it was bad. This is where the editing is awful. 1 minute they're like on the beach, deep in, just on the sand. The next shot they move to a different angle, and they're knee deep in water. And as they're fighting, there's one scene where he actually drowns a guy. Now he goes from neck deep into the water, back under the sand in a shot. In a matter of a second, starts fighting this other guy, and the guy who just drowned gets up and goes back at it again and fights him.
We're just gonna save the horror in case they do remake it and reuse some of the scenes.
But that's just that one particular scene.
But just imagine how bad that is. Anyway, if you want to feel like James Bond and you want to sleep with 24 women in one weekend and go see a very famous fight, Sherry's Ranch in Nevada is offering for $100,000, which is a fair chunk of change, to go to the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, and you get to sleep with all 24 girls at the ranch. Do you think you can save the money in time?
I don't think I could just stop doing what I'm doing to, like, save up that much energy in time.
So, my question is, do you start with the hot girls, blow your load a little early on the hot girls, or do you want to start with the ugly ones, do the hot ones in the middle, and kind of, have the okay ones at the end? What order would you do them in?
Do I have to...
Ugly, okay, hot. I'll work my way up.
You'll have the energy at the end?
I'll work my way up to the grand prize. I'll work for that.
Okay, I get that. My thing would be, do I have to do them all within that week? Can I go back and go 2 days?
I think you get a weekend stay. I think the fight's like a Friday night, and then
but
you
what
get
if,
to stay Saturday, Sunday.
How do you watch a fight and then rail 24 women?
I could try it.
I could do it.
Right. I'll watch a fight. I'll rail 24 women.
What if you want to
I
watch
can say it because I go listen to this.
Yeah, can you? Can I take them to the box and just start going at it while watching the fight from the special box I'll be sitting in?
No, you get front row seats. There's
More
no box.
peanuts, please.
Oh, well, front row seat. Everybody can watch it. Like I was saying the other week, it was, the guy railing the girl on the rock stage. You can just, make it a new thing. Right on the freaking stage that everybody's fighting on.
Yeah.
It's like front row seat.
Side bets? You can have side bets on how long it will last? I mean,
yeah, see?
Who finishes first, Pacquiao or me?
Round four. Okay, come on, girl.
I think Mayweather. I think John wants Mayweather to win from that statement. But it should be a good fight. Tickets are $1,500, I think, for the cheap seats. So,
not including 2 front row.
Yeah, not including the the whores you're going to be banging. You should be using at least $10,000 of that up. So we'll say it's only about $90,000 to fuck.
$1,500. I'm gonna have problems saving up for the little less than $1,000 I need to go to Canada.
But what if you only want to fuck like 23 women? What do you tell the 24th?
Let's play Yahtzee.
You want to play Yahtzee? I just fucked all your friends. Let's play Yahtzee. You look like you might have syphil herpes or something.
Oh, for me, it'd be kind of weird because, I'd be sitting there, I'd have to look at their eyes instead of their boobs. Like, you're the craziest, you're first.
Herbie's like, okay, you're craziest, but you might hurt me. You want to see him in the end in case they try to hurt you or keep you?
If they hurt me, all the better.
But if you're paying $100,000, you want to get in with all of them, even if they're not.
Don't worry, I will. I got some stamina going.
Well, yeah, I guess you just have to work, to build up your stamina. Wow. I can't speak. I've been up for 24 hours.
So, Herbie wants the grand prize first. John wants it at the end. I say in the middle. I think you want to do the ugly ones and then the hot ones, and if you have room, have the middle ones at the end. How about you?
Wow. This is like Celebrity Deathmatch. Except like 24 at once.
It is.
24
and all on you, yeah.
I think I'd do this. I would start with, and if it's a brothel, I'm not going to say they're ugly. There'll definitely be women who are less attractive than others. Unless there's one that, kissed a brick when she was, 5. But
Well, you don't know she had time to mouthwash the guy she's just sucking off like 5 minutes ago. I mean, you're not going to be the only guy there.
Well, they're all going to be at least like 6s to 7s. That's a given. You're not going to get anyone below a 5 at a brothel.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the crazy scale will be pretty high, too.
Oh, well.
They might all be crazy. Like,
They all have daddy issues.
I'll find the best one. I can look at a person from, yards off and be like, yep, that one.
So if we could divide this in 4, that means each of us would get 6. All
you
we have to do is
25 G's apiece?
we'll let Zorn sit there first and go, those 6 are the craziest, they're mine. He can have the 6 craziest. And then I'm not a beggar or chooser. I might end up sitting there talking to him because we know how I get. Because
He's going to get the smartest 6. He's going to get the craziest 6. He's going to get the hottest 6, and I'm going to get like the most metal 6. That's what's going to happen.
There you go. We can all just divvy him up. If there's any crossover, we'll just send them off the other way. It's fine.
Now,
And if we all
is it
fit-
possible to have multiple girls at a time, or do they have to be one after the other?
I'm pretty
You have 2 dicks?
I'm pretty sure you could.
I
I'm
got-
sure they wouldn't mind if you're
I
paying
got
that
2
much money.
feet, 2 hands, and a penis and a mouth. I can handle 6 girls at a time, alright?
What are you doing with your feet again?
Shoving it all like,
Well,
I was on about the
Tease
seizure.
on
and
bed.
Well, while we're talking about Ginger's fucking, that brings us to week 3 of 50 Shades of Ginger.
Oh boy.
Now, SLB, you said you might have one next week?
Next week I will. I do have something outlined that we'll write it over the next week.
Alright, so SLB is going to start his story next week. Me and Zorn, however, are going to do our 3rd week.
So, my first novel-ish to read. He was scared, but decided you only live once. He made his move. He grabbed her and tried to push her down. That was a mistake. She used his weight and flipped him onto the ground. She took the whip's handle, shoved up his ass. Really, big boy? She ripped a sock off him as he tried to scream and shoved it in his mouth. I'm in charge, honey. You just remember that. He stayed silent. A moment passed. She slowly took out the whip as it glided over his prostate. He shook and came all over the floor. She sighed. Really? This won't do. You need to pay for that. Let me think. Since you can't hold it in, neither should I. She flipped him again and shoved him onto the couch. She pinned on the couch with one foot in his leg and her breasts pinning his face to the seat. He was confused, and then she farted loudly. Soon warm liquid started dropping on his lap. He started to squirm. Then it happened. He felt a warm pile hit his lap. There, his mind went away. He had no idea how much time has passed. She'd probably taken the sock out sometime during the bathroom experiment. When she was done, she was so near. Next time, you finish after me. She left him there sitting stunned. The screen to just stay for a while. When night hit, just before he stood, he muttered, "Pineapples."
I don't know why, but I really wanted Betty White to read that.
You would have just had to add the word moist.
I can do my next one, my Gilbert Gottfried voice.
Let's not do that.
50 Shades of Ginger!
Oh my god.
Let's not do that.
We'll have to do that after.
You know he read 50 Shades of Grey, right?
I know, I've
Yes,
seen that like
that
a
was-
billion times.
That was amazing.
I played that in front of my mother. I don't think she was amused.
Alright,
Why would you play that for your mother?
Why not?
here's the one by Merc. The ginger screamed, "Are you ready for the next level, bitch?" She replied, "I am ready for anything, baby." The ginger yelled out, "Let's go, boys!" As soon as he said that, 2 ginger midgets walked into the room, both already naked with 14-inch cocks, fully erect. That's got like half their size.
Their names are tripods. It's fine.
Their nutsacks full of freckles. They both climbed up on the bed on either side, both starting cock-slapping Sally's tits. The midget dicks are hard as rocks. Where most of the girls would be humiliated of hanging, this has turned Sally on even more. The lead ginger, still jamming the dildo with her snatch as hard as he could, came to the realization. Although irritated, he was impressed at how well Sally took this. Ginger realized she may be the type of girl he needs in his life. She still had a few tests for her, though. He looked up both ginger and said, "It's shower time." The 2 minutes stopped cock-smacking her tits and started ripping some of their red pubes off their hands, and they sprinkled them all over Sally's face. The ginger then aimed his cock and started pissing all over Sally's head to wash away the fiery pubes. Sally got so excited she started to piss all over the bed. I'm really liking this. This is like New York Times bestseller shit.
As read by Betty White.
Actually, I'm curious. Later we'll have to have him read it like Gilbert Gottfried.
I think we need to have, at the end, I don't know how long we're going to go with this, him read the whole thing.
Well, how many books are there, and how long is it going to take him to make them into movies?
There's 3 books.
Well, closing arguments. SLB.
Well, before we sign off, it's been an interesting week for myself. It's been a couple weeks. We've been off doing some other things. But I do want to make an announcement. I will be with J&J's Review Realm. If you haven't checked them out, they're our buddies who also do reviews of movies, music. We'll be going to Montreal to see the Heavy Montreal Festival in August. This is my first time out of the country, and I'm excited, especially when you have 3 days of nothing but metal. Headliners include Slipknot, Korn, and Faith No More, which will be interesting since this is their first major tour for an album, their first album in 17 years? 18 years?
I may spend the money to go see him in Boston.
I would definitely do it. I mean, it's Faith No More and Mike Patton. Just a couple other shows we'll be going to this summer. Dillinger Escape Plan just announced a show in Boston at the Royale, which is a cool club. Cool place.
Animals as Leaders.
And then there's the Contortionist, Animals as Leaders, and Between the Buried and Me. For us, it'll be the week after. And
And Dog Fashion Disco, which hopefully we can actually film a podcast with.
It's going to be in, the 12th they play?
I believe it's the 12th.
And at Simon's. So if you're in the Providence or the greater Providence area, you should definitely come by and check us out. Check them out. I know I got mail for that.
Zorn, closing arguments?
I've also had a very big last 2 weeks.
How big?
About 8-9 inches around there. But
In girth?
Wow.
well, dear God. All right, so
That's why they call them the Super Collider.
but the biggest things that have been going on for me is Reality A has been doing exceedingly well, and I started my new sequel per se, new expansion I've been working on for freaking ever, and it's pretty awesome. So Shanna's Play, awesome.
Next week, I think we're going to actually try to get in Reality a little bit and let you go forth for a while.
Oh, okay, sure.
Because that was the original idea of why we got you on the show. We're like, wait a minute, we like him, we should just keep him full-time.
That's true. They did originally come to me. They were like, "Hey, you do this Reality A thing. You want to be on the show once?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And then they just got me.
Which is fine. We decided that 4 people is better than 3.
4 is the perfect amount. Ginger, closing arguments?
Well, to say right now, I am trying to get into touch with a brewing company. Hopefully we can go to a local brew known as Whalers Ale, located down South Kingstown, right across the street from the public library, right next to the Kodak building.
Right where they hold the AA meetings?
Yeah, I know a couple of guys there. Hopefully we can get in there and review some of their beer and get them more out in the open.
We love supporting local business.
Hell yeah.
On my closing arguments, I'd like to wish Jeremy Clarkson the best. He's got suspended on Top Gear for possibly making racist statements. Although I don't agree with him making racist statements, it wasn't like it was like on live television or anywhere where it should necessarily get him banned or the treatment that he's getting. He's a major part of Top Gear, one of my favorite shows, and although it's looking grim, I wish the best for him. I don't know if you guys watch Top Gear at all.
When it's on, when I get a chance.
But it kind of sucks. Regardless, I am Merc.
I'm Zorn.
I'm the SLB.
Ginger.
It's the Weed Wizard.